Hi, everyone. It's Donna DePonio, wine advisor with Wines for Humanity. It's another Wine Down Wednesday where I will be featuring one of our wines. This one is our newest one, and I was so excited when Anton told us that we were going to have this in our wine inventory because it's one of my favorite grapes. So it is Grüner Veltliner from Austria. So we are going to talk about this wine like we normally do with the 5 S's of wine tasting. So the first S is sight. You can look at the color of the wine to indicate whether it's a younger or an older wine. And this is a very light, pale yellow color, although it has a couple of green tones in it. Again, it's hard to see on the video, but it is a young wine. As I've mentioned before, most wines nowadays are young. This is actually a 2022, so it's just a baby. The second S is swirl. We swirl the wines for 2 reasons. Number 1, it lets the aromas out. So I just gave you the clue to the third S. And number 2, there's these legs or streaks referred to as legs coming down the sides of the glass. I think I poured a little too much in this one. So there's these legs, and if the legs stick to the sides of the glass and slowly make their way down to the bottom, you've got a heavy-bodied wine. However, this wine, when I swirl the wine, the legs are not sticking. They're quickly falling to the bottom. So that means we have a lighter bodied wine. The third S is sniff or smell. I'm going to take a couple of sniffs, and I'm getting some lime lemon, a little bit of herbs, which is typical of a Grüner Veltliner. If you're having trouble smelling the wine, a little trick that I learned is to cup your hand over the glass and then swirl the wine. It concentrates the aromas inside the glass, and then try it. Also keeping your mouth open just a tad to let the aroma, and as you sniff, then keeping your mouth open allows the flavors to come into your palate, and you get a better aroma profile. The fourth S is sip, and we want to take 3 sips in small sips. So the first sip conditions your palate to the flavor of the wine. The second sip invites you to a fuller appreciation of the flavor. And the third sip, now you've established a relationship with the wine, and you either like it or not. It's like the 3-rule date. The guy or gal is in or out by the 3rd date. Same with the wine. I'm getting that lemon lime that I got on the nose. Also, I'm getting some white pepper. This is a very crisp and clean tasting wine. It's got a little bit of a tangy texture, high acidity, and it is considered a dry wine. The 5th S is savor, sort of meditating on what we've been experiencing in the wine. So let's go into a deeper dive of this wine. As I mentioned, the grape is Grüner Veltliner, and this comes from Austria, which most of your Grüner Veltliners come from Austria. Some come from Germany, but the majority come from Austria. I got to show you the label because I think it's very cool. There is the label, little Austrian guy there, and the mountains in the background. It's has 12% alcohol, and it's very similar to a Sauvignon Blanc, but it's not as tart. The food pairings with it, it's a very refreshing, crisp, acidic wine. So it pairs with a ton of different foods, but it can go with spicy foods or fatty foods. And it also is one of the few wines that pairs well with artichokes or asparagus. So if you want to learn more about this wine and the other wines that we have, the best thing to do is schedule a tasting. It is so much fun. You can have up to 18 of your wine-loving, wine-consuming friends. You only pay $69 plus tax for a 6-bottle sample set that you and I choose beforehand. And then the best part is that 9 to 12.5% off the bottle price of wine selected during your tasting will benefit a charity of your choice. So a charity that's near and dear to your heart, and a wine tasting, it doesn't get any better than that. So the best way to get in touch with me is to message me on Facebook, or you can email me at vinodeponio gmail.com. Thanks for sipping with me, and I hope to see you soon. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye now.